trade rumors out there. Andrew Bynum, perhaps, going to Denver, perhaps, for Carmelo. Do you think Carmelo, even if this scenario came to fruition, could Carmelo coexist with Kobe Bryant in that lineup?
Well, that's the big question. And who knows if there's anything to this story or not. I mean, having been in that GM seat the last few years, I know, you have one conversation with a fellow GM, all of a sudden it's all over the news. So whether it's valid or not, who knows. But it is very intriguing. I don't think it would work this year. It's too radical a change to make mid-season, and it would leave the Lakers so shorthanded on the front line with basically only Gasol as a big man. But long-term, it sure is intriguing to think about those two guys, Kobe and Carmelo, combining with Gasol. That's a pretty intriguing trio right there.
Andrew Bynum, obviously the big trade chip here. He's hurt all the time. But how good is he, and how good could he become, assuming he could ever stay on the court?
Well, that's the big question. There's no question that he's as talented a low-post player as there is in the NBA today. And they just don't make those guys anymore. I mean, all the big guys that come into the league, they shoot jump shots now. So he'd be a tough guy to let go. But if you're the Lakers, you've seen him for 5 or 6 years now. They know whether they believe in him by now or not. And if they believe in him, they won't do the deal. If they've kind of given up hope on his consistency, then maybe they pull the trigger. We'll see.
Steve, I want you to put the GM hat on again, just briefly. And I'm wondering whether you would save Bynum as a trade chip for Dwight Howard next season when that whole situation blows up or at least threatens to.
Well, that's a great point, and there's been so much talk about Howard and him possibly leaving Orlando for L.A. If you're the Lakers and that's a real possibility, then you do have to hang on to your cap room. If you make the move for Carmelo, you're only doing it if you sign him to a max extension, so you know you got him locked up. But then where does that leave you big man-wise? So I think that's something that they'll have to wrestle with. Personally, I'd rather have Howard than Carmelo with that mix. But that's a couple years down the road, and who knows what's going to happen between now and then.